Alright, let's do this one more time from the top. Third time's the charm. I've said that so many times today. Oh, we're back, guys. If you didn't catch the last two streams today, we're back again. This time, it's a little more chill, a little more relaxed. We're just here to have a good time and do some writing. So, there we are. That is weird. My camera is now over here. Hello. I'm totally not using a whole bunch of Pokemon cards to hold my stand up. I don't know what you mean. I'm gonna look this way even though the camera's over here because I'm used to the camera being here and it's not over here. Anyway, hello again. Welcome to the chill writing session. We have not done one of these in a very long time. I do mean like what, 4 months, 5 months since we did one of these last, so it's been a while. I haven't really been in the mood to write a lot lately, and I really need to get back into it. This is a good way to force myself to write and to get other people involved too. I know there's a lot of you out there who write or just come and hang out while you're working, so either one of those is allowed, of course. Let me get rid of this. There we go. Wonderful. So basically, if you've never been here before, or if you're coming in during certain sessions, this is how things work. First off, we do the introduction, which we're doing right now. Then we sprint for 30 minutes. At the end of those 30 minutes, we come back together, and if we want to talk about anything, we can talk about things. If we are playing the silent type tonight, that's fine. We can just briefly ask questions. If we have nothing, we'll just move on to the next writing session. Usually we do 3 to 4 sprints, so that's usually about 2.5 hours. I'm expecting that's probably what it's going to be tonight, so during those 30 minutes, I do not look at the chat. I'll know if you're there, but I won't be looking at the chat. I'll be looking at my own story, my own novel that I'm trying to write, and I'll be focusing on that. I'll see the messages come in, but I won't respond to them until the end of the 30 minutes. That keeps people from being distracted, keeps me from interrupting people while they're trying to focus, and also keeps my mind on what I'm writing. All the important stuff for writing. At the end of the 30 minutes, I'll answer any questions you have, any comments you put in the comment section, and we'll carry on from there. If it's just me writing tonight, it's just me writing tonight. This is a good, calm way of writing. No pressure to do anything. You're not pressured to do anything. You're not pressured to talk. You're not pressured to tell me anything you want to tell me about your story. If you want to tell me about your story, I will love to hear about your story. This is my favorite thing to do. I love writing. I love helping people write. And as someone who is getting very close to publishing, I'm on the final edge, you guys. Like, I am so close. A few more months and I'll probably be done. I say a few months lightly because I took a year to write the same book. So we're going to assume a few more months and we'll be done. I might have to take a break. Actually, we will probably take a break after the second or third sprint. Mostly because we're going to have to get up and move. We're going to have to be able to walk around. Because sitting in one place for 2 to 3 hours is very hard. Trust me, as someone who streams a lot, sitting 2 to 3 hours in one place is very difficult. And for certain reasons, I can't sit in one place for very long. So we'll probably get up, we'll probably move, we'll take a 5-minute intermission and come back to get soda. I say soda, caffeine, tea, whatever it is you drink with. We'll take a break for that. We'll come back and do a couple more writing sessions. Sound like a plan? Alright, let's get to work. So I will start a 30-minute timer, and I will try very hard not to hit my mouse as I'm writing. My microphone as I'm writing. So we are about to start the first 30 minutes. So again, during this session, I will not be talking. I will know that you're talking to me. I'll see it in the chat, but I will not be like actively looking until the end of the 30 minutes. Alrighty, I think we're good. So that's why it's a little bit different than my other streams where I can constantly talk to you guys. I just want to make that clear because sometimes if people come in and they're like, hey, you're not talking to the chat. Yeah, I give the forewarning ahead of time so that everyone knows what's going on. You guys don't want to know when I'm listening to my playlist. It's fine. Alright, we are ready? Starting with 30 minutes? Now. Alright, 30 minutes are up. Wow, that goes really fast. How did you guys do? I had a bit of a rough start, honestly. Piece of advice, don't pick up a story you haven't written in 3 months and expect you know where everything was. I went back through and I'm like, I don't remember anything that I wrote. I need to get this connected for it to make sense, but I forgot where I was. Glenn says hi. Hi, Glenn. Sorry, I didn't answer you right away. I was in the middle of very, very deep concentration, or what I was hoping would be deep concentration. How did you guys do? Crimson, how was your writing? I know you were writing. I know you were. I did terribly. 275 words. I just realized it's all wrong, and I want to take the story in a different direction. Understandable. Did I even get 200 words? I don't even know if I got 200 words, to be fully honest with you. Now you made me look. Now I have to see how many words I wrote. $345. And I'm not even sure I like them either. Yeah, it was kind of a win. It was kind of the way I wanted it to go. The problem is I feel so much pressure because it's the last version that I want it to be right. And I feel like I'm over-explaining things that I don't need to over-explain. You ever get that feeling? It's like, you want it to make sense, but when you try to write it, it makes sense in your head, but it's not information dump, but it feels like you're putting too much into it, trying to get people to understand your world or what's happening. I'm trying to, like, my character has, I hate to say it, my character has a very similar personality to me. And I have a very hard time writing him because I don't know how to express that emotion. Because it's not something I do, so I'm like, how do I make this make sense? How do I explain it without making him like the most angry character that exists? He's the protagonist. He's supposed to be the good guy. I can't make him angry and bitter about a situation, though he has a right to be. I need him to be the sweetest, most lovable character you've ever met. Despite his flaws, he is the most lovable character. He is the leader. He has to have this confidence that he doesn't have. I over-explain so much in my books, it feels like confusing after I feel like stressing out the reader. Exactly. See? I feel like I stress people out. I'm trying to explain too much. I mean, that's what I do when I talk to. I feel like I over-explain things to get a point across. But by the time I get the point across, the whole point is gone. Because, like, what was the reason for this again? Why was this even a thing in the first place? Like, my character, he is going to be the leader. But he has no leadership qualities at all. He feels underappreciated, not noticed, and he's supposed to be, like, this prophesized, cursed creature. And he's like, oh, well, that's just great. Everyone's told me my whole life I'm dangerous, but yet here I am, I'm supposed to save the world. Not only save the world, I'm supposed to lead a whole bunch of other people who don't think the same way I do. Don't understand where I'm coming from. Who all have serious trauma. Let me tell you, every single one of my characters has serious trauma. And he's like, I'm supposed to figure this out. Like, I'm supposed to know how to handle this. And it's like, how do you write a character like that? How do you make him be the person you want him to be without forcing too much? That's my question for tonight, is I gotta figure that out. I feel like when I eventually print this off and I go through editing, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is bad, take this out, take this out. That's actually good, leave that there. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna come down to I may have been too wordy. I don't think the story is bad, the plot is where I want it to go. It's just too wordy. If that makes any sense at all. But is there anything you guys want to talk about before we go into sprint number 2? Any burning desire, questions, anything you want to talk about? And if not, that's fine. We'll hop right into number 2. I'm starting to get on a roll there, so I'm good at that. Chapter 3, and I'm already lost track of what I'm doing. My main character has so many mental health issues and hates humanity and is the least empathetic person you ever meet, but she's also supposed to be a hero. Gonna be hard to make her likable. I have a character like that. I have one like that. She's not the main character of book one, so you have a chance to kind of get to see her through everyone else's eyes, and you're like, oh, okay, I don't like her. Like, not so much the mental health issues, but she's got her own trauma. It's just like, I really don't like her. And every single person who's read anything I think I've written, even my first few drafts, every single time they're like, there's one thing we all agree on: we do not like this character. And then you get to her book and you're like, oh, well, she's not so bad after all. I understand where she's coming from. She has a lot of problems because of situations. And it's a good example of don't judge a book by its cover. Like, you don't know somebody just because you see. My whole series is a life lesson. The first book is literally about don't judge somebody by their. My character's a dragon, by their scale color, which is like don't judge someone by their color of their skin. And then book two is like, I will love you no matter what. And book three is literally don't judge someone by their color. Just because you know a person or you think you know a person, and you may or may not like this person. And particularly in this one, you're not supposed to like her in the first two books. She's there. She's kind of helping kind of make things worse. You're not supposed to like her necessarily. But when you get to book three and you understand her and you're like, she's not so bad because I understand what she's coming from. I understand where she's coming from. This trauma and this anger that's directed at all the other characters is not. It's not her. It's her learning to deal with things that she's not used to dealing with, if that makes sense. Like, they have this whole war, kingdoms, tribes hate each other. And since she's forced to work with four of the people, or dragons, that she hates, she's supposed to hate. And she doesn't. And she doesn't know what to do about it. That's entirely a different story. We're not even close to that one yet. We're still on the first one with the leader who doesn't know how to be a leader. Because he's never had the opportunity to be a leader. That's the fun part. Like, he is the most selfless character, second most selfless character I've ever written. And he has to figure all this out. Like, he doesn't think he's selfless. He thinks he's afraid he's going to end the world, basically. And he's just like, how do I deal with that? The good concept that I could potentially end the world if I do one wrong move and the universe is gone. Basically, is what we're looking at here. He's like, how do I make sure I don't do that? I spiraled. I spiraled. I'm sorry, Crimson. What were you saying? I kind of spiral. I get too excited and then I spiral off category. And I don't like talking about my characters, which is weird because I love my characters, but I don't like talking about them. So for some reason that just all came out, and I don't know why that all came out suddenly. Just looking at my notes here real fast, see what I need. I think one of my best lines, like, I just wrote this, and I'm so proud of it. Remember, this is my character who no one knows him, no one knows he exists. That's kind of the idea. And his line is, they're protecting me. Right. They're protecting everyone else from me. And that literally sums up his character. Like, he is so sure that he is going to end the world. Like, he's like, I so much as sneeze and the world's gone. I can't do this. I'm not safe. Why would anyone want me to do anything? And yet that's what happens. Crimson says, best spiral ever, but very relatable. The main character is very much an anti-hero. Will definitely be peppering in some raw human moments to showcase that she does need some emotions. Exactly. See, that's hard to do. But they've just been buried underneath years of trauma and illness. Yeah, that does seem to be a common trend. See, that's the fun thing, is you have no idea what's going on with the character. Like, for example, I think she's, if I remember correctly, because we've talked about this before, she is the main character. She's supposed to be the main character. So, like, you are thrown into her world immediately. And then I've got, like you learn about her as you go along because you were thrown into the world that she lives in pretty much right off the bat. Unlike mine, who you have to learn through 2 other books before you get to hers to understand her. So you firmly made this basis of, okay, I probably don't like this character. You had the fun fact of people will know things about your character without an information dump. You won't know everything about your character, but you'll know enough. Enough to, I'm guessing, sympathize with her? I'm going to assume you're going to sympathize with her. Suppose you're supposed to. I don't know. I'm assuming you're supposed to sympathize with her. I'm losing my words. I've had 3 streams today. My voice is going and my brain is gone. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Okay. Alright, I'm thinking. Are we ready? Are we ready to do the next sprint? I don't want to rush Asubis. We have plenty of time to talk. I'm not in a rush tonight. After the next sprint, we'll take a 5-minute break. So, we'll have time to do that. Because I'm already getting stiff. Let's be fully honest, I'm stiff here already. Okay. Alright. I think we're ready. So, on that note, I'm gonna mute back up, reset my timer for 30 more minutes, and let us begin. that is the end of number 2. Sorry, I went over a little bit. I got caught up in the moment. I'm like, I gotta finish this thought real fast before I continue. How did we do that time? That felt a lot better to me. That felt a lot stronger. I got 800 words that time around, so that was a lot better than the first time. I think I finally got back into. I got Fred behind me here. Actually, I don't have a name for the creeper yet. But that was a lot stronger. That was a lot better in my opinion. I feel like I got somewhere. Again, I'm not sure like the writing is perfect, but like I can go back and edit that later. I'm just writing to write. We're just free writing at this point, really. I was like, I can work on editing once I get the story plot to go where I want it to go. How did you guys do? If you're coming on back. No, I don't know really what to talk about here. I don't have a lot to say this time. I have a dragon who likes mud masks. That's about all I got that chapter. 400 words, and they are actually good ones. I might be putting in a bit too much foreshadowing and symbolism, but it's just too fun to write. Can't help myself. I feel that. I love foreshadowing. I have to do foreshadowing in the chapter I'm working on now, actually, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. Because I'm in chapter 3, and it's going to foreshadow the biggest twist in the whole book. But I need to do it just right. Like, I know how I want to do it, but I need to do it just right. And that's a lot of pressure. But yeah, I love symbolism, I love foreshadowing, particularly foreshadowing. It's something that was always said when I was younger and I was writing, that is that in writing or movie scripting or just basically anything fiction, if it's not important to the story, it's not going to be in the story. So even the most obscure things, like you watch any mystery movie, it's usually one random clue that gives it away. It's something that doesn't even make logical sense at the time. It's just like an offhand. I saw a mystery movie this week where the killer volunteered to give the main character a rubber ducky on a keychain. And it was the rubber ducky on the keychain that was the clue to who did it. Because it made the same sound when it squeaked later. That was like the only clue to figure out, and like nothing else connected until you got to that point, so that made sense. So nothing happens in a story or a movie, or in this case a book, that is not important. And that is why foreshadowing is so much fun, because you can do so much. Because in writing, you can make it seem like every single line is suspicious. For example, the chapter I just wrote, I introduced one of my main mentor characters, and he loves mud masks. And that has no vital importance to the story whatsoever. But because it's a writing thing, you're gonna think, what could that possibly have to do with the story? It doesn't. It just builds on the character's personality. But that's just the thing. Like, you don't know. That's why it's so much fun to foreshadow. I went off on another spiral again. I'm sorry. What I think I'm gonna do is, feel free to keep talking, Crimson. Just keep talking. Tell me anything you want to tell me. I'll come back and I want to talk more about this before we move on to our last sprint of the night. I want to take a 5-minute break. Okay, I want to take a 5-minute break, mostly because I'm out of caffeine, and I've been sitting here for an hour and a half. And then I want to do probably one more sprint tonight. I'd like to do more, but I do have to get up early. I have the early shift at work tomorrow, so I have to cut this short a little bit shorter than I was expecting it to. So yeah, I want to do one more sprint tonight. I want to do a 2 to 3 minute break in between. But yeah, let's talk about anything else you want to talk about before we go on. I don't like to cut people off. I like to give them a chance to talk if they want to talk. Because I'm better at responding to things than I am coming up with conversation starters. To be fully honest with you, I love writing it, but I'm also a huge, which can frustrate things sometimes. I think I add too many elements of foreshadowing to overcomplicate the plot, lose track of what's going on. I always lose track of what's going on. My characters take over. My characters are in charge of writing. Like the character I'm writing now is a pacifist, but I found a moment when I was just writing the last 800 words I just wrote. 800 words I just wrote in the last 30 minutes. He's just going off the deep end. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna keep this. This feels important to his character, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like his character. Like, he's just gone off the deep end. Like, he is reached the point that I just need to let off some steam. I'm gonna yell at the first person who comes through the door, and there's nothing you can do about it. And he just looks, when I start writing, he just looks at me and says, "What are you gonna do about it?" And I'm like, it's your story, dude. You do whatever you want, make it realistic. At this point, the characters run the show. I'm just here for the fun of it. Like, why does my character like mud masks? I don't know. He's literally like, "What do you think?" And my character's like, "You look like you just fell in quicksand." Like, it was like, he's like, "Why?" I don't understand why the characters do what they do. They just do them, and I have no control over what they do. They just do. I've ever had that feeling. I know. A lot of people have. It's just like the character embodies a personality of you, and when you let that character go, they just take off. You have no control over anything. It just happens. That's about what happened. I went from a point that I was stuck at when I had barely 500 words. I now have over 1,000 words in this chapter, just because I let the character take over, and it's incredible. And Crimson's telling me to go get my break, so that's where we're gonna go take our break at. It'll be a 2 to 3 minute break. Eat your sandwich, Crimson, and we'll do one more sprint. I think we'll wrap this up about the 2-hour mark. So, alright, we go into be right back mode. I've always wanted to use this one. Oh, it's exactly the same as the others. Okay, well, that's fun. And I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Alright, we're back. I didn't just go run around my whole yard. I don't know what you mean. I had to get some energy out, and now I'm breathless. So that's great. I got my drink. This was a funny story. I was going to put flavored water into my drink. Okay, normal stuff. The onion soup mix is right beside the drink mix. I almost put onion soup into my water bottle instead of my caffeine water. So whoopsies. That would have been unfortunate. That would have been very unfortunate. Hello, Mr. Bonnie. How are you tonight? So yeah, that's a story that happened. And if you guys are ready now, we will hop into sprint number 3. The last one of the night. I'm definitely not playing on my phone. It's cherry caffeine. So it's different. It's definitely different. Alright. Let us begin our third sprint. Put 31 minutes on the clock. And I will see you guys in 30 minutes. Good luck. Alright, Crimson's ready. Let's do this thing. And just like that, sprint number 3 complete. How did you guys do? I lost control again. My characters absolutely took over and I completely lost control again. Not too bad though. I'm up to nearly 2,000 words. I'm very happy about that. So that's good. I've written, yeah, over 1,000 words tonight. These sprints really do help. Hopefully you guys had some success too. As this was the last sprint of the night, we'll give a chance to talk about it before we close out for the end of the evening. But yeah, that was very successful. I feel like I need to do these more often. I feel like we kind of got out of the habit of doing these, and doing so, I haven't written as much, and we're about to hit National Novel Writing Month because it is now September. It's halfway through September. We have just over a month before National Novel Writing Month, and at that point, I'm planning to try to stream every day. I don't know what time yet because my schedule is so fluctuating, but like trying to stream every single day just to get a reason to push through Nano. I think that's what the plan is for now. We're practicing. We're getting back in the swing of it. We're getting ready to start. Okay, we're a month and a half away. It's almost National Novel Writing Month. Crimson's got 619 words done, and I think I finally started to get the proper flow for the story. Writing it omniscient. I cannot say that word right this time, and it takes a while to get used to it. It does. That is a different point of view. All right, it's a very fun point of view. I feel like that's probably one of the harder ones to write. I feel like my characters just kind of took over again. I feel like I might have made my mentor too mentory, but it is what it is. It's wonderful. It was great. Okay. I think that's a good place to end for tonight. Introduced a character I wasn't planning on bringing in so early, but it's kind of happened. Is the character's not in the ice players, just asked to be put in there and I didn't argue. See? I have the same problem. My character's name is Cloud. Okay, if you've not read any of my stories, if you've never been on Wattpad, never read anything I've ever written, my main character's name, his name is Cloud. And he just flat out looked at me. I stopped right before I started writing. He looked at me. He challenged me and he said, I'm not an aggressive character, but I'm about to be. What are you gonna do about it? At that point, I'm just like, I gave him control of the story and I wrote nearly 2,000 words because of it. So that is, that's what happened to me. Characters have a tendency of just taking over. And when they take over, there's nothing you can do about it. It sounds silly. If you don't write, it sounds silly to say, hey, my character took over. They really do. Like, if you get far enough into your mindset that you know your character and what the character does, what they do just comes out. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just there. And you are helpless to stop it. That is the craziest way to end a stream. But I think that's a good place to end the stream. I'm gonna try and do this again tomorrow night. I have a bit of a long day tomorrow, but if I can push it out, I'll do another one tomorrow night. We'll start kind of getting in the swing of doing these like every day, every couple days, just to get back in the habit of doing this. I need you guys to hold me to that. I need you to hold me to at least once a week we're gonna do this. If not more than once. I like to do this like 2 or 3 times a week, but at least once a week we're gonna stream this. And there's no requirement, there's no pressure to be here, it's just, we're here to have fun. We're here to have fun and write nearly 1,000 words. When you haven't been able to write for months. So that's what we're looking at. I think that's a fantastic place to end. Thank you guys for coming tonight. I will see all of you. If not tomorrow, most likely Friday night. Alright, Cataclysm, signing out.